Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. Retirement is still possible in the U.S. I honestly believe that. It's you hear so much about how hard it is to retire for the average person anymore, and how people are leaving the U.S. to retire at better conditions and feel like they got more money and stuff. And I hate to see that. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that somebody's going to grow up and have the opportunities you got here and take part in all that, and then you're going to leave the country so you can live a little bit better. And I kind of question that. You know, you got so many people touting to move over to these other countries to live good, and I just a lot of times when they telling you something, so many people are telling you the same thing. They're just trying to talk it up, and it just gives me pause. Is it really that good or not? I mean, that would be hard for me to do. Some people could do it. But I couldn't leave the U.S. and move somewhere else. I don't care how much cheaper it would be on me. That might be my downfall, but I just don't see it. But this past year's got me thinking about all kinds of crud, and I believe it. I don't believe retirement is as difficult as they make it out to seem. Now that might sound like it's coming from somebody who's got a pile of money or something, but I don't care. That's the way I'm believing anymore. I'm sort of like the Yogi Bear mindset. Retirement is 90% mental, and the other half is financial. I mean, financial is a big part of it, but they don't explain somebody's got $2-3 million and needs to live off about 80,000 a year why they don't retire. It's a mental thing, you know. Because if they worked it just off the math, they would know, hey man, I got it made, but they don't. You know, I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I run my numbers until my eyes bled, and then I have professionals check it. And still it gives me the shakes. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's gonna take me 3, 4, 5, 6 months before I get comfortable not having a job and a steady check. It just is. I'm gonna have a steady check, but it's gonna be my own money I'm spending. It's gonna take me a while. Now I got the routine of my daily stuff down, no problem. But it's that financial stuff is gonna give me trouble. And it's I went about it like sort of like the tortoise and the tortoise and the hare, slow and constant. You know what I mean? I didn't try to make a ton of money all at once and save every nickel I had. If I had a little bit more at the end of the year than I started with, I was happy. Every year, just make a little bit more. It's sort of like that 9 mile journey with the Walter Payton. You know, he runs something like 9 miles, but he only ran that thing 3 yards at a time. Well, he averaged a little over 4 yards. So what's that? 12 feet at a time. That's a long ways to go, 12 feet at a time, with some big sucker tackling you every day, every time, knocking you to the ground. It's the same as retirement. I played a long term game on that. When you're young, you can't afford to put away too much if you're raising a family and got a mortgage and stuff. But as you age your way out of that, as time moves on, you can afford to put a little bit more back, a little bit more, and a little bit more. It just, I firmly believe that anybody that wants to retire, you got to want to retire now. Some people just have no desire to. But if you want to and you think about it, plan for it. You got to plan for it, and you got to take action. Plan ain't no daggone good without an action. That means you got to keep trying to put that dollar away. And if you're realistic with yourself, you got to understand that you didn't live high on the hog while you were working. You're not going to live high on the hog when you're unemployed. And that's what retirement is. You're unemployed. You don't have a job. You know, it takes time. You don't retire in 10 years. It's a lifetime of work is what it is. And then when you get there, it's still more work. You know, retirement's not the goal. It might be a goal for your working career, but it's not a life goal. You know, that's just a different stage of life. You know, it's time that where you get to say what you want to do when you want to do it, instead of having a man tell you that. You know, it's kind of it's the one time in life where you get to be selfish. It's okay to be selfish when you're in retirement. Selfish with your time, selfish with the way you spend your money. You know, it it's not a bad thing, but I mean, you might not be able to retire when you want to, or when your neighbor did. You might not have, as much money as your neighbor or your brother or your sister or your mom and dad had even. But to live a decent retirement, you you, you just got to work at it. You just have to work with it. You know, you go when you're ready. Don't let nobody else tell you when you should go. If you got plenty of money, you just ain't ready to go. Don't go. You know, retire the way you want to. You want to travel the world, retire, travel the world, dadgummit. Ain't nobody, it's your money. Nobody's going to look out for you or your money better than you. I don't know. There's just some realizations I sit down and thought about over the past couple of days. But you beat down over the course of your life about people hearing stuff about how hard it's going to be to retire, or you might hear it the other way around and feel terrible about it. How great this guy here's retirement is, and yours ain't nowhere near like that. And you're thinking, well, man, that'd make you upset too, make you feel miserable. But there's as many different types of retirement as there are people in the world. Yours ain't gonna be like nobody else's. As long as you're happy with it and comfortable with it, that's all that matters. It don't make it two diddly squats what that guy thinks. It doesn't. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking about doing. I'm gonna do another live. I know I should have done it when I was off in January, but I think I'm gonna do it in February 4th, next Saturday at let's go 2 o'clock. I'll put out a community post later about it. You know, if you get a chance to show up, that'd be great. If not, then it's no big deal. That'll be I'll be retired for a couple of days then. Y'all be good. We'll talk to y'all later.